So, I could have sworn I saw Wade Wilson behind me. Which is odd. But nice. He was looking pretty handsome. But glum. It's like a man who just found out no matter how much he time travels, he'll never get his wife back. Because his wife is the incarnation of death. And she was never alive to begin with. And when you marry the incarnation of death, you're going to get a broken heart. But even worse, the realization that the only way Wade Wilson will ever see his wife again is if he dies, and that he can't die. But also knowing that his wife is death, and that she will never see him, and she is death, and the one thing she cannot control is his death. She can control almost everybody else's death but his. And yet, they will never be together. Star-crossed lovers, indeed. I feel like I wanted to give him a hug, but I was afraid. Because every person I've ever loved has tried to kill me. And I guess I just am afraid that if I love Wade Wilson, he will try to kill me too. And I can't kill Wade Wilson. I mean, I did kill everybody else. I did kill all my other lovers. Kidding. In my mind, at least, I killed them in 1,000 different ways. I wanted to kill them. I just didn't have the heart. You have to have a heart, to kill your lover. Yeah, even though they tried to kill me, I couldn't kill them. Because I got a soft spot in my heart for my lovers. And while Wade Wilson isn't my lover or anything, I love him like a brother or a father or something. And, I never really met the guy, so, I mean, people are like, how can you be loving a guy like a brother or a father if you never actually met the guy? And, well, I don't know, really. We saw each other on a dark night, looking off on the pale moonlight. We were sitting on a bridge. I was contemplating jumping off. I wasn't trying to kill myself or anything. It was a nice scuba diving bridge, It's a bridge you can jump off for scuba diving. And I think he thought I wanted to kill myself, or maybe he wanted to kill himself, but he couldn't. Anyways, and we got talking. I know it sounds like I met him, but do you ever really meet a person, really? Like, you think you meet people, but you never really meet them. There's always, like, a barrier in between you and them. And I just, we got talking, and I realized that the man behind the mask was indeed a man of great expectations. And I guess I realized, and maybe he'll tell you the stuff he said, because it's probably important that he tells you the stuff he says. But I felt like there was so much more to him than blood and blades. And it reminded me of back when I was a young person myself, and I had my guns, and I had my blades, and I had my chartreuse suit, and, I had far less control over my autokinesis, and was dyeing my hair blonde a lot more. And, it reminded me of what it was like to be a hero. Because he just defeated Thanos and tried to use the Infinity Stones to find a universe where his wife and him could be happy together and have his 1,600 kids. And I think Wade Wilson is my dad. And when my mother was killed, I got thrown into a new universe so I didn't die. I think that might have been what happened, but probably not. I sometimes just remember a different life. A life where I had a mother and a father, and I didn't just appear out of midair. And my mother and my father loved me very much. And my father, he gave up his dick so he could name all of his children these incredibly stupid names that he got off of, like, some kind of, like, mass poll he did on Reddit or YouTube or something, where he asked a whole bunch of weirdos on the internet what he should name his kid, and he couldn't decide on the winning name, so he just went with them all. And it happened to be that my mother was having, like, 100 babies or something, and so it just kind of worked. Like, he even was able to name the kid all of the names that were like that one person who just, like, came up, like, with a dozen thousands of epic names. So I, like, have a brother whose name is Raven Hawk, and a sister whose name is Silver Magic Lady. Okay, that one wasn't very inventive, but still, some of them were really inventive, like Jason Killboy and Dragon Wolf Eye. Actually, watchers, if you're watching this, you're probably noticing there's a reason my mother may have made my father cut off his dick and buried it in the Antarctic until we all turned 18 and could decide if we wanted to change our names or not. Surprisingly, most of us did not change our names. One of us did change her names frequently. In fact, she started doing her own Reddit polls. So anyways, when it went back to get the dick, it was like, well, it was like this big, and it looked like charcoal. Needless to say, he had to regrow his dick. That's why I suspect my father may have been Wade Wilson. Because who else could regrow a dick? But that's a different universe altogether now. One we can't go back to, no matter how much we wish it. Because we used to ride around on this bus that was actually a cat. No, not like the Miyazaki thing. It was literally it wasn't a cat either. It was like this alien thing, and you could hold open its mouth, and we could all go in, shoot the cat thing, and we could like look outside its eyeballs, and we would tell it where we wanted to go, and like it could go anywhere on Earth, and it was called the Deadpool mobile. He got it as a gift from Nick Fury. It's true. Anyways, I think I saw Wade Wilson today. He looked like he'd need a hug. So if you see Wade Wilson, give him a hug. Don't be like me, a chicken. I'm afraid. I'm always afraid. I need to be less afraid. Like Wade Wilson. So if you see Wade Wilson, give him a hug.